My name is Alex Guerra, assistant baseball coach at JMU. First part, we're going to discuss the stance and setup of how to be a good hitter. All right, so the first part about being a really good hitter is that we've got to have a good stance and a good setup, making sure we've got a really good base when we hit. And in the video here with Brad, one of the biggest things that he's doing a really good job of is making sure he's got a good base underneath him. And we equate to having a good stance and a good setup as if you're on the basketball court, or if you were playing football, if you were going to be a linebacker or a D-back, and the type of athletic position that we want our guys to get into. One of the main things as you're starting and being a hitter is that you want to be really athletic. And I want to make sure that our guys are in the best position before they start anything high level that we talk about, because the things that we discuss when it comes to hitting is sometimes stuff they've never heard before. But they have to be able to be in a good stance and a good setup and having a good base before we even start anything. So one of the biggest things is obviously within the stance, but making sure that their weight is evenly distributed in their lower half, making sure that their knees are inside their feet, making sure they've got really good posture over the plate. And meaning that you don't want to be standing straight up. You also want to be hunched over. You want to make sure that you've got your chest kind of over the plate, and making sure that position kind of stays there throughout the entire swing. Next part, we're going to discuss the load. All right, so the load. One of the biggest things is, or if not the biggest thing, is making sure that we get separated. And separated meaning our lower half and our upper half are pulling in two opposite directions to create a lot of tension and a lot of torque. Going back to the stance, making sure that we've got good posture over the plate, keeping that posture within our load, and really making sure that we load into our legs. We don't want to just lean back and lean on our right leg, being Brad, a right-handed hitter, just leaning back. We want to make sure that he's kind of loading into his legs, and as he's loading into his legs, he's kind of pulling back. So we'll do a little bit of a drill, which is called the separation drill. Brad's got his feet together with his hands back behind his right leg, and as he's pulling back with his hands, his lower half is getting separated, which he's doing a really good job of right here in this video. His front hip is kind of clearing, which is a big part of the load, making sure your front hip is cleared and not blocking yourself off, keeping that front foot on a good 45 degree, with his hands back behind his right leg, and really torqued up in his back hip, and allowing that rear hip to turn and explode, and allowing his hands to get on plane and getting flat and in the zone for a long period of time. If you load the proper way, you will unload the proper way. Part 3 is the swing. All right, so we're loaded up. Obviously, we've established that Brad having a really good stance. Now he's been loaded up, and now it's the swing. And there's many different misconceptions with the swing. Guys thinking that you've got to be going straight down to the baseball. Guys thinking that you've got to swing straight up. Now it varies based upon the guy. However, there are some absolutes, no matter whether you're 5'8" or 6'5", of having some absolutes. Before Brad got here, he had a very steep swing, very downhill, a cut swing. Okay, one of the biggest things with Brad was wanting to try to get him to flatten out and get his barrel in the zone as long as possible. Okay, so if you load the proper way, it's going to allow himself, which Brad's done a really good job, not only in this video, but on a daily basis, of loading, getting to a good position to be able to unload the bat the proper way. And if your barrel's in the zone for a long period of time, you're going to have a greater chance of being more consistent on a daily basis. It allows yourself to have more adjustability within your swing. Being able to hit not only the breaking ball, not only the fastball, but the breaking ball, the slider, the changeup. Whereas if your swing is in the zone really quick and in and out, you've only got one shot to hit it, and your margin for error is very small. So there's obviously tons and tons of drills that we do to be able to create this, but that's probably one of the biggest things that we want to try to make sure that our guys lock in on a daily basis, is making sure that their swing continues to get as flat as it possibly can every single day.